Hello, I'm Evangelos. I'm the developer of SMX Supermoto versus Motocross, and today I'm gonna show you how to create user-made content aka modes for SMX. Specifically, we're gonna look on how to create maps for SMX using the Unity game engine. We're gonna do it in order from how to configure the Unity game engine, what kind of tags we can use in order to tell the game what surface are we riding on, what you need to pay attention to avoid in-game bugs and get the maximum compatibility, preparing our files, finalizing and testing our map on our device. You can also find a fully detailed guide on how to create any kind of mode for SMX on our Mod.io page under the guides menu. So the first thing you have to do is go to the Unity website and download Unity 2019 4.9 F1 version. Then after creating an empty project and picking the 3D option, you are ready to start following this guide. The first thing we have to do is download the asset bundle browser from the package manager. You can do that by going to Window Package Manager. This window will show up and we have to look for asset bundle browser. We're gonna use this plugin to prepare our files for later to be able to put it in the game. When this is done, you can close this and we're ready to start making our map. First thing you have to do is delete any cameras that are in the scene. So there's one camera by default when you create a scene. You can delete this one. In order to make the dirt bike behave differently on different surfaces, we have to put two tags. The one tag is called dirt surface and the other one is called tarmac surface. So we go tag, add tag. Here we enter dirt with uppercase D, surface, and tarmac surface. The T has to be uppercase, but the S and the surface has to be lowercase. Now we can use these two tags to determine what kind of surface the bike is running on. When we're creating our map, we have to make sure we are on the 0, 0, 0 position on all axes. I'm gonna create a terrain, and the terrain by default, the corner of the terrain is on 0, 0, 0 position, which is literally where the bike is gonna spawn. So we have to move the 0 position to be in the center. This way the bike, when it's gonna spawn in the game, is not gonna fall off the map. In order for the terrain to work properly in the game and have fully compatible terrain, you have to go to terrain settings and find the material slot. Now in the project tab, we left click on the empty space and we create a material. We can name the material whatever we want. I'm gonna name it terrain. And then in the shader, in the inspector, we're gonna pick nature, terrain, standard. Now we're gonna click on the terrain in the hierarchy and we're gonna drag our material into the material slot in the terrain settings, right here. Now we are ready to start creating our map. So here in the terrain, I'm gonna pick the tag of dirt surface. The bike is gonna think that it's riding on the dirt. When you're done creating your map, you're gonna go to File, Save As, and save your scene and name it whatever you want the map to be called in the game. It's gonna create this tutorial file, which is a scene file. Now, in order to export the map, we're gonna go to Window, Asset Bundle Browser, and we're gonna drag the scene we just saved into the window. We're gonna click on the Build tab. We're gonna pick Android since we're gonna test it on Android. We click Build. Now that the building has finished, we can start preparing our files. First thing we have to do is go where the file was outputted. So the outputted file is on our project folder, Asset Bundles, Android, and here's our file. It's called tutorial. Now to prepare this file to work on the game, we have to do some changes. The first thing we have to do is put an extension. The extension we're gonna use is called SMX level. Now we have tutorial.smx level. By default it doesn't have any extension. And we have to create a folder, and the folder name is gonna be used in the game. The game is gonna show the folder name as the title of the mode. I created a folder and I'm gonna put that file inside. Now that we have this file, we need a preview image. You can create a screenshot and put the file as a JPEG file. Rename the file to preview.jpg. I'm gonna use this image as an example. Rename it preview. I'll leave it here. Now our files for the mode are ready. To test this mode on our device, we have to create one more folder. I'm gonna name it 000 debug and put the folder inside this folder. So we have the 00 debug folder, tutorial mode name, and the two files, the preview file and the map file. Now I'm gonna copy the 000 debug file into my device. Go to your device storage. Go to Android, Data, find the com.evac SMX folder, click Files, Modes, paste the folder here. So here's our folder, is on Android Data com.evac.smx files modes, and now we have 000 debug, tutorial mode name, and our mode files. After testing our mode on our device, we're ready to deploy the mode into mode.io. In order to do that, we have to go to folder. We're gonna ignore the 00 debug folder. We're gonna go directly to the tutorial mode name. We're gonna archive this folder into a zip file. After archiving the file, the zip file should look like this. The zip file should contain a folder named based on your mode name and the files that we need. Now this zip file is ready to be uploaded on smx.mod.io.